So I was in the call center industry, and specifically I was in the kind of boutique end of the call center industry where we did messaging for customers. Every company would typically raise prices every year on an anniversary date, and they would do a CPI style 2 to 3% raise. That was kind of the standard. And then they'd piss some of their customers off, and then the customers would call in or quit. And normally, if you did well, you'd raise prices 3%, lose 3% of your customers. You'd have the same revenue. You would just have to do 3% less work, and that's where you got some incremental gains. Not a great model. So we were coming up on one of these kind of incremental price increase moments, and I don't know where the idea came from. Maybe someone mentioned it or we came up with it internally, but the thought was, well, they're going to all complain anyway, and we're going to lose 2 or 3% of them. What if we raise prices 20% instead of 3%? And the exact same number of customers complained. We negotiated some back. We actually got good at negotiating. We lost 0.5%, raised prices 21%. So our net was a 20.5% increase in revenue. And the good news was all went to the bottom line. So it was like the equivalent of like a 5x amount of new revenue, which was amazing. We let 18 more months go by, and it was time. We were going to do it again. 2 more calendar years had gone by, so a similar letter. It's been 2 years. Why we raised prices again? But this time we analyzed our billing complaints at the same time, and we found out we were in an industry that, like cell phones used to be, you'd buy a bucket of minutes, and if you went over the minutes, you got an overage charge on your bill. 90% of our billing complaints were distrust around the overage amount. So we literally evaluated customer by customer, and we looked at the average of their last 12 months. We came up with a number. We raised it by it ended up being about 22%. But then we bundled in so many minutes that they would almost 100% sure they would never go over. And we actually got to 90% of our customers had a base rate with so many minutes bundled in that they never got overages. Our billing calls dropped by 90%, which all that cost got eliminated of servicing the clients. Our customer retention went up because we weren't getting billing complaints, and we still got, it ended up being about 21% increase. And again, we lost about 0.5% of our customers. We were able to repeat that cycle 4 times leading up to the sale of the company. Every time, it wasn't just a price increase. It was a price increase with some psychological tie back to why we're doing it, how we're going to use the funds, how it's good for you as a customer for us to continue to do this. We can pay our staff better. We can invest in technology better. We can service you as a customer better. And then really great conversations with the handful of customers that would complain, and we were able to mitigate almost all the customer attrition from it. And it was those decisions that drove our gross margin in a highly commoditized business to 61%, and it gave us the ability to really develop our brand because we had all these dollars to spend on improving the offering, and our competitors couldn't compete. It really became a secret weapon for us.